In a country of 1.4 billion people, religion and cinema are the only two things that unite the masses. And for over 3 decades, one man has blurred the lines between the two. Every Sunday, a sea of humanity gathers outside a heavily guarded black gate in Mumbai. They don't want money, they don't want autographs, they just want a 3-second glimpse of a man spreading his arms. But before the $1.3 billion net worth, before the honorary doctorates from Edinburgh and Yale, and long before the world crowned him the king of Bollywood, there was just a grief-stricken boy from Delhi with messy hair, a stutter, and a broken heart. Welcome to Beyond Fame. Today we aren't just looking at the glitz and the glamour. We are stripping away the fame to uncover the raw, unfiltered journey of a man who looked at an unforgiving city and said,
"I've come here to rule. And I believe that when I wake up in the morning."
This is the true story of Shah Rukh Khan. To understand the superstar, you have to understand the soil he came from. Born on November 2, 1965, Shah Rukh's bloodline was steeped in history. His father, Mir Taj Muhammad Khan, was a 6'2" Pathan from Peshawar. Mir was a fierce Indian independence activist campaigning alongside the legendary Abdul Ghaffar Khan. He was a man who spoke 6 languages but struggled to make a dime. His mother, Lutif Fatima, was a formidable woman. An Oxford-educated first-class magistrate, she was the anchor of the household. Shah Rukh grew up in a middle-class home in Rajendra Nagar, Delhi. His father shuffled from one failed business to another, eventually running a mess at the National School of Drama. It was here, amidst the aroma of cheap tea and cigarettes, that a young Shah Rukh watched legendary theatre actors rehearse. He was the canteen boy soaking in the craft. He wasn't rich. In fact, his first ever salary was a mere 50 rupees, earned working as an usher at a Pankaj Udhas concert. What did he do with it? He bought a train ticket to Agra just to see the Taj Mahal. But tragedy is often the anvil on which greatness is forged. In 1981, when Shah Rukh was just 15, his father died of cancer. The gentle giant was gone. 10 years later, in 1991, his mother succumbed to complications from diabetes. His older sister Shahnaz fell into a deep, silent depression. At 26, Shah Rukh was an orphan, tasked with keeping his remaining family alive. He didn't start acting to become famous. He later confessed he started acting to escape the deafening silence of his empty house in Delhi. With a heart full of grief and a pocket holding just 1500 rupees, he packed his bags for Mumbai. Mumbai in the early 90s was a fortress guarded by film families and established dynasties. Outsiders didn't become heroes, they played the hero's best friend. Shah Rukh's break came on television with a show called Fauji. Interestingly, he wasn't cast as the lead. He was supposed to be a background extra, but the camera has a strange way of finding charisma. His screen presence was so electric that the director rewrote the script to make his character Abhimanyu Rai the focal point. When he finally transitioned to films, nobody wanted to cast him as a romantic lead. He was deemed too short, his hair was too unruly, and his face was too unconventional. So, Shah Rukh did the unthinkable. He took the roles the big stars rejected. In 1993, he played a cold-blooded murderer in Bazigar and an obsessive stalker in Dur. The iconic stutter,
"I love you, Kiran,"
wasn't even in the script. Shah Rukh doesn't stammer in real life. He borrowed it from a friend in Delhi to give his character a haunting psychological depth. The gamble worked. The Indian audience did something they had never done before. They rooted for the villain. He rewrote the rules of Bollywood. You didn't need to be a traditional hero to win the girl or the box office. You just had to be unforgettable. By 1995, with the release of Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge, the ultimate anti-hero transformed into the ultimate lover. Shah Rukh Khan became the king of romance. Yet, in a twist of irony, Shah Rukh himself finds romantic movies terribly boring to watch. But SRK was never just an actor, he was a visionary businessman. He realized early on that a star is an employee, but a brand is an owner. As his wealth exploded, so did his aura. He is famously superstitious about the number 555. Every single car he owns bears that number plate. He has a phobia of riding horses. He absolutely refuses to eat ice cream. And he sleeps in freshly ironed pajamas every night. Because, in his words, you never know who you might meet in your dreams. He poured his massive wealth into Red Chillies Entertainment, turning it into India's premier VFX studio. In 2008, he bought the Kolkata Knight Riders in the IPL. He wasn't just acting for a paycheck anymore. He was building an empire. No empire is immune to gravity. As the late 2010s approached, the golden touch seemed to fade. His highly ambitious film Zero crashed at the box office in 2018. The media whispered that the King's era was over. But the professional setbacks were nothing compared to the personal torment. In 2021, his family was dragged into a massive public controversy. For months, Shah Rukh Khan, the man who could charm any room with his words, went completely silent. He stopped giving interviews. He stopped posting on social media. He hid his face behind umbrellas. Critics wrote his professional obituary. The internet declared him finished. But they forgot one crucial detail. A wounded lion is at his most dangerous when he is quiet. In January 2023, after a 4-year hiatus, Shah Rukh Khan returned. He didn't do a single press conference. He let the cinema screen do the talking. Pathaan shattered every existing box office record. 9 months later, Jawan broke Pathaan's records. By the end of the year, with Dunki, Shah Rukh Khan had collectively brought in over 2,500 crore rupees at the global box office in a single calendar year. A feat never achieved in the history of Indian cinema. But the comeback wasn't just artistic, it was deeply financial. By early 2026, Shah Rukh Khan officially debuted on the prestigious Hurun Global Rich List, boasting an estimated net worth of $1.3 billion. He didn't just survive the storm, he bought the weather machine. Now, as the world anticipates his next moves, his legacy is ironclad. The director of the National School of Drama recently said it best. Shah Rukh Khan is a theatre artist first and a superstar second. He is an ordinary man from an ordinary family who achieved extraordinary things. He holds honorary doctorates, the French Légion d'honneur, and real estate on the actual moon, bought for him annually by an Australian fan. Yet, beneath the 555 number plates and the $1.3 billion empire, he remains the boy from Delhi who was terrified of poverty. Shah Rukh Khan's life is the ultimate masterclass in resilience. It teaches us that rejections are just redirections, that failure is a better teacher than success, and that if you have the audacity to dream, you shouldn't just aim for a seat at the table. You should build your own castle. Thank you for watching this deep dive on Beyond Fame. If this story inspired you, leave a comment below with your favorite SRK moment and don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, keep dreaming beyond the fame.